Hey, house guests, welcome to today's Big Brother 25 updates and spoilers. Happy pressure cooker day, everybody. Oh my goodness, I still can't believe we are being blessed with the return of the pressure cooker tonight. So excited. Our house guests of the day are John Preeb and Diane Honor. Thank you both so much for the support. We could not do this without you, and we appreciate it so much. So thank you again. And if you guys want to be house guests of the day, check out our Patreon link in the info box below. It's only $1 for a holo. And before we get started, I also want to thank yesterday's super chatters because that's another fantastic way to keep our channel going. So Ant Dog, Jack D65, Anita Starr, Mary Ellen L, Maintenance Chick, Mackenzie Koenig, Jody Cortez, Camila Gamba, Christine, True Teddy, Fruit Loop Dingus, Jeremias Dejer, Wendy Will. Thank you all so much for your super chats. Oh my goodness. Y'all, excuse me, I need to get this out now. It's a long night ahead of us. When we left off yesterday, the smell of waffles was in the air. Seriously, like I could really go for some waffles right now because all the flip-flopping back and forth is making me hungry. But we had the beginnings of a potential vote flip yesterday. Unbelievable, right? Not this season. So Heisam was campaigning his butt off. He was working hard. On the other hand, Cameron doing nothing. No things. Zero things. Nothing. Yeah. So Heisam, we saw, refocused his efforts back onto the professors. He was working for a while, mostly on the other side, but he wasn't really gaining any traction over there. And Jag told him straight up, like, it looks like you're going to go. It's not working. You don't have the votes. So, yeah. Excuse me. Heisam went back to campaigning to the professors. And he was really pushing the family angle, right? The professors are like a family. I guess we're in the Olive Garden. I don't know, when you hear your family. And he's like, that's why I was so hurt when you put me up, because I thought that we were a family. I was trying to protect you all, and I guess I went overboard, but I was loyal. Heisam also pushing how much it stings being up next to Cameron, who is not loyal, right? Cameron was the one who sold Riley out to Heisam and got Heisam targeting her in the first place after Cameron was saying, Riley's like my daughter. Yeah. So Heisam's campaigning in conjunction with a growing panic about Red and Cameron led to some people questioning their votes. Jared, Izzy, Sari, they were all thinking maybe we should just like flip this vote, keep Heisam, and get Cameron out of here, because they're getting nervous that Red and Cameron would take a shot at them if they were to win HOH this week. I feel like they want Jag out first. Like, they definitely are acknowledging that Sari and Izzy are like big part of the power structure right now, right? But I feel like they would genuinely want to target Jag first. Maybe I'm like missing something, but that's what I'm thinking. But anyway, Red had just solidified his new alliance, Legend 25. It's 8 people. And it's Red, Cameron, Matt, Sari, Izzy, Felicia, Mimi, and Bowie. So there's like a few ways to slice this. You could look at it as the professors minus Heisam plus Cameron and Matt. You could look at it as the Bye Bye Bitches plus Matt, Cameron, and Red. Like, there's just so many alliances. So many alliances this season. But this alliance is a joke as far as Sari, Izzy, Felicia, and even Matt are concerned, right? Because they're all in the 7 deadly sins, and they take that one way more seriously than they do Legend 25. Legend 25 is a cover your ass alliance, right? CYA. By the way, speaking of all these fake alliances, Corey is getting really frustrated that Sari and Izzy are getting involved in so many, not just fake alliances, but humongous fake alliances, right? With like 7 or 8 people, excuse me. And he's kind of getting nervous that Izzy and Sari, they're getting all this protection from so many people while he's just being left out to dry, right? If he's one of the few people that's not in these alliances, he could become people's targets. So he's not happy about that. But again, Jared, Izzy, and Sari all wondering, should we just vote Cameron out now? take away the worry. Like, is he going to come after us or not? Like, we won't have to worry about that if he's not here. So, yeah, they're like, let's keep Heisem. Heisem can take out Red for us, and then we get rid of Heisem. So when we ended yesterday's spoiler, that vote flip was in progress. So Sari and Izzy are talking about the vote in the HOH room, and they're talking about how Heisem needs 6 votes to stay. So if they decide to keep him, they want to be careful about who's in on that vote, right? Because they want to kind of maneuver this vote flip into a new alliance. Another one. Oh my god. So, of course, they're counting the votes for Heisem, and they're like Sari, Izzy, Jared, Corey. Obviously, they want those 4 all together, right? That crossroads alliance of 4. And then they need 2 more asses in the seats. So they're thinking, let's bring in Mimi, and then maybe America would be number 6. Izzy says America sucks, but she would probably be willing to do it. She sucks? Come on. It's just funny to me because America's name got dragged through the mud the other day just for suggesting that they should consider keeping Heisem. And now they might need her because they actually want to do that. It's a little ridiculous. But anyway, also, I love how America's crucified for thinking about keeping Heisem. And then Sari and Izzy can do whatever they want, talking about flipping the vote every single freaking week. But anyway, even though Felicia does not have a vote this week, they still would want to get her blessing on this move, and they would want to include her in that new alliance that this vote flip would create. So Serena's like, I don't know. It's going to look really weird that Corey is voting with us. He's not in Legend 25 or the 7 Deadly Sins. They don't want to reveal that they're working with him, right? It would look really random, and it would kind of out that they're together. Also, people are going to be pissed that they were left out of this. The people that are not included in this vote flip, the 5 votes for Heisem to go, they're not going to be happy. So yeah, another concern that Sari has is Heisem actually going to forgive us if he stays, or is he just saying that? Because if you keep Heisem, he's a huge competitor. There's a really good chance he's going to win some more competitions. You don't want to be on his bad side. But Izzy says she wants to believe him. Of course, he's saying all the right things right now, but they really do believe him. They keep bringing up how Heisem was saying, oh yeah, my family and friends back home, we fight all the time, we get into it, and then we get over it and we apologize to each other and we love each other. It's a family. They kept bringing this up over and over and over again. Oh my goodness. So Sari says she would just feel so much better with Cameron gone because he's already talking about targeting them, maybe even next week, and she doesn't like that energy, right? So Izzy says, if we do this, no matter what, we need to be the ones to tell Heisem that he's staying because he needs to know it's coming from us. Tell Cersei it was me. So Sari agrees. She's saying, yeah, of course. If we're going to do this, we need to benefit from it. Heisem needs to be indebted to us. All right. So then Felicia joins them. She hyperextended her knee. So she was wearing a brace. She was having to elevate it. Good thing she's got a nurse and a doctor in the house, right? So they start pitching to Felicia about keeping Heisem. And Sari says, Cameron told Jared that he's coming after us. And on the flip side, if we keep Heisem around, he will be forever grateful and loyal to us. I do think he would work with them again. I honestly do. But God, to go back on a move like that's a lot. So Sari is asking, how bad would it be if Cameron went home, especially since he plans on targeting us next anyway? So Felicia says, my only reservation with that, you're all saying that Heisem will be grateful and everything if he stays. He never told me in my conversations with him that he would be grateful to me if he stayed. And also, I tried to hug him and he told me he didn't want me touching him. So Felicia says, clearly Heisem is very hurt that I'm the one that put him up. So if he stays, is he going to come after me? Is he going to try and get revenge on me? So Izzy says, well, maybe he just didn't promise to be grateful to you because you can't vote this week. So, So Felicia, again, she's like, I don't know. I'm nervous about this. I think it's going to maybe be detrimental to our games. If we flip back again, people are going to be pissed at us. Yeah. But Suri and Izzy say, no, other people are already considering this too. Me, you, Jared, America's talked about it. So Izzy also says this wouldn't technically be a flip because we're keeping it in-house. It would be our alliance doing this. We would have the numbers moving forward. Whatever you want to call it. So Felicia is considering it. She says, I want to think about it. She also wants to talk to Hisam again, right? And see where his head is at. So Izzy goes and grabs Hisam and brings him into the HOH room to chat with them. So Felicia says to Hisam, I'm going to be straight up. I'm thinking about rallying up the numbers to keep you. And you see Hisam's face light up. He's just like, he's very excited. Oh, I feel like they said this to him too soon. I feel like they shouldn't have said all this. But Felicia says, I'm only going to entertain that if you're good with us. And she's like, I don't want to flip this. And then you target me the first chance you get. And Hisam says, no, darling. No, darling. Darling. Hisam is also, Felicia brings up how Hisam didn't want to hug her, and he's like, oh, I'm sorry. He hugs her. They make up, blah, blah, blah. Thank God Hisam hugged Felicia. So Felicia's explaining, like, I do feel a connection to you, and I get what you're saying about family and forgiveness, but she says she needs to know that Hisam will be on board with them until the final 7. Like, don't be coming at us before that. And then once we get to the final 7, it's game on. So of course Hisam's like, yes, absolutely, 100%. He's promising he's going to do better. He's with them. They're going to work together. It's not just going to be him ordering people around. And he says, honestly, I'm glad that you guys gave me feedback. I love feedback. You held me accountable, and now I'm ready to change. Okay. And more talk about how they're a family. Blah, 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 blah. Family. But yeah, now they need to secure the rest of the votes to make this happen. So Izzy starts pitching to Corey on the Sky Bridge, and Izzy says, we have the opportunity to deal with Cameron right now. He's targeting us. He's the reason that Hisam was fixated on Riley. Like, Cameron is the root of all of our problems right now, right? But Izzy says if we move forward with Hisam, he's going to be indebted to us. And we can use this opportunity to set up a new group of 6. So this group is Izzy, Corey, Suri, Jared, Mimi, Felicia. And Izzy says America can vote with us for this vote since Felicia's not able to vote. But America is not going to be a part of this group. Okay, weird energy. Corey's like, well, what would the pitch be to America, though? Like, how are you going to sell that to her? Like, vote with us, but you don't get anything out of it. Right? That's a lie. That's a lot to ask of somebody. So Izzy's like, I don't know. Maybe Hisam will be in our group, too. Maybe we'll have 7 people. I'm sure that's exactly what Corey wants. So Corey's like, well, do you have any faith in this group? What makes this group real when the rest of the groups you've been making lately have been fake? Right? He's sick of all this fake shit. So Izzy says, well, this group that we're talking about now has been for real the whole time. These are the people that we've been rocking with the whole time. It just wasn't official that we were all in one group together. So she says, we just talked to Hisam too, and I believed him. I believed what he was saying. And she says the reason why it felt so genuine, she said, this is the first time that Hisam didn't say the word right after every sentence. So Corey's like, all right, listen. If it was my call right now, I would say that Hisam has to go. I do not trust him moving forward. And he says, like, it's never going to be the same after you burn him like that. Like, you can try all you want, but there's always going to be that feeling, all that memory of you guys turning your back on him. Yeah, right. It's kind of hard to shake that. Kind of hard to get rid of that feeling. So Corey says, also, it's going to be hard to get Hisam out later. I mean, just look at the numbers. Like, every week that goes by, there's more and more of a chance that Heisem will be able to play for the veto. So that back door is going to be turning into a little Alice in Wonderland door. It's going to get smaller and smaller. So Corey says, yes, Cameron is dangerous. Of course, we got to get him out of here. But moving into next week, it seems like everyone except for Cameron and Red is targeting Cameron and Red, right? But if we then flip our votes and keep Heisem, not only will Cameron and Red be coming after us, but all the people that were not in on this flip may also start targeting us. So we're making way more enemies here than we need to. So Corey is asking, why can't we just go through with our plan, vote out Heisem, and then we can still put together that alliance that you want to make, right? We can still solidify that and move forward. Needless to say, Corey is very anti-flip. And he's making a lot of great points, right? So after this conversation, Corey goes to the HOH room to vent alone because he can't even believe what he's hearing at this point. So Corey whisper yells, "What the F?" But the real word. And he's like, why? It doesn't make sense, man. Why do I have to be advocating for Heisem to go? Obviously, he has to go. You all just effing betrayed him, right? So he says he will die on the vote Heisem out hill. He is not letting this one go. So Izzy comes in. They're still going back and forth about the vote again. Izzy's saying Heisem's going to be a shield for us. He's going to win competitions for us. And we'll have some opportunities to take him out before we get to the final 7. There's no guarantee that he's going to win every single competition. So Corey's like, yeah, he's not making it to final 7. Like, that's not a question. So Corey, again, is explaining, we're going to have way more people targeting us if we flip and keep Heisem. Like, this is a really bad idea. So Izzy is asking Corey to think about it, talk to Sari about it, and we'll meet again. So after Corey's alone again, and he's like, I'm actually trying to help Izzy. She does not see how stupid this effing idea is. So Corey's like, I have to clue in America, the person. I hate this effing idea so much. So after this conversation, it seems like the tide is turning back to Heisem going again. Izzy lets Jared, Felicia, and Sari know, you know what? Corey made a lot of really good points. More people are going to be targeting us if we flip and keep Heisem. They're going to be really upset that they were left out of this and that we kept Heisem. So Izzy says, though, her biggest takeaway from her chat with Corey is that they can still solidify their 6, right? They don't need to keep Heisem to do that. So again, a reminder, the 6 that she's talking about, Izzy, Sari, Jared, Felicia, Corey, and Mimi. Okay. So after a few more conversations about the vote, it seemed like the flip was pretty much dead. Maybe. And they were back on track to vote Heisem out. But this is kind of sad because he's like got his hopes up now. That made me sad. But Corey, Sari, and Izzy are all agreeing if they win HOH next week or tonight or whenever the pressure cooker's over, they will be putting Red and Cameron right up on the block. Before, there was all this talk like we can't put them up until after the veto because we don't want any flags raised or anything. But they're like, no, we can't be messing around. We cannot risk them, winning the veto, using it on the other, and then they're both safe. So we're just going to have to put our cards on the table and put both of them up there on the block. Guarantee that one of them leaves. They also agree they will let America be a part of their new alliance, kind of. She's not going to be a full equal partner, right? But she is going to be included in it. It's just like everybody else is going to know that America is number 7 in the group. Okay, so then the flip is not dead. Sari and Felicia were getting paranoid as hell last night. Mimi was even in the mix with that too, which was surprising because I feel like most of the time Mimi is just like, let's keep our heads down, do what we're planning, and that's it. But like, she was in it last night. So Sari was really worried because Red apparently asked her if Jared knows about the Legend 25 alliance. I mean, yeah, of course he does. He knew like 2 seconds after it was made. But Red is not supposed to know that. So Sari is wondering, is there a leak? Who would have told Red? Did Jared tell Blue and then Blue told Red? Like, what's going on here? Is Red getting a whole big group together? So they were talking about how Jag and Red both claim to be targeting each other, but it's almost like they're too open about it. Is it just a front? Are they actually working together and they're targeting our group? Oh my God. You really think these people are going to come up with that? They're paranoid that there's some super alliance forming with Red, Cameron, Jag, Matt, Blue, Bowie, America. So Sari is analyzing that HOH spy screen. She's analyzing everyone's actions, their facial expressions, who's hanging out with who, everything. And it's exhausting. It's a lot. Like, girl, just go to bed. Just stop and go to bed. Turn off the TV. It's enough. So yeah, for this reason, the flip talk was still alive because Suri is like, okay, if all these people are working together and there's some gigantic ass alliance that we're not a part of, I don't see how there's any more gigantic ass alliances possible, but she's saying if we're not a part of that, we need to keep Heisem to help us go up against them. So yeah, Felicia checks in with Jag in the living room, and Felicia's like, I just really want to make sure that Sari and I don't end up on the block next week. Yo, she's paranoid. So Jag is reassuring her, I am 100% with the 7, meaning the 7 deadly sins, right? So Jag says it is very clear that Red and Cameron want me out of this house, and I'm gunning for them, right back at them. So Felicia's like, I see what you're saying, but it almost feels staged because everyone is being so open about their targets here. Oh my God, Felicia. So Jag is like, no, not at all. Again, I'm 100% with the 7. And Felicia's like, okay. But she's doing like the Larry David thing where she says okay, but she's still like sussing him out. So she's like, okay. Oh God. So Felicia's like, I just need to feel that trust for real. And she says it's bothering me that Cameron is saying that he would put me and Sari up on the block. And Jag's like, I know, it bothers me too. We're all in the same group here. Red and Cameron can't be targeting any of us. Red and Cameron have to go. So Felicia's like, well, do we need them to go before we send out Heisem? Oh my God. I can't believe she's bringing this up right now to Jag. So Jag is like, well, that's a conversation that we can have with our alliance, right? If you want to talk about that, we can do that. So Jag and Felicia talk through it a bit. They go through pros and cons. It doesn't really go anywhere. They don't end up having this discussion about keeping Heisem with the 7 Deadly Sins Alliance. They don't do it, but like, oh my God. So then Corey and America have a game chat in Have Not room. And Corey says, everybody's pairing us up, so should we just pair up? And she's like, what? What do you mean? I don't know if she thought he meant like on a showman's level, but he's like, well, do you want to do this thing? Like, do you want to go to the final 2 with me? And she's like, yeah. She's very excited. I guess they have a final 2 now. But they talk about who else they're close to in the house. Of course, Corey's super close with Jared, Sari, and Izzy. America is close with Jag, and now I guess kind of Cameron. She's kind of flirting with both of them too. And it's definitely pulling those guys in. So Corey lets America know, hey, about that, it's freaking people out that you're getting close to Cameron. Like, I'm getting a barrage of questions about you. Like Izzy and Sari asking me if I trust you or not. And people are also nervous about your ties to Jag. So maybe like, don't be as close to him, because people are associating you and I together. So if you're close to Jag, they're going to think that I'm close to Jag, and neither of us are going to be included in things. So maybe just like keep an eye on that. So Corey says, speaking of, I think Sari and Izzy are going to approach the 2 of us about working together. I mean, obviously he knows they're trying to get that group together, and he's trying to kind of like prime America for that. So Corey's asking, what do you think? What do you think about working with Izzy and Sari? And America says, I'm in. You're the only person that I talk serious game with. So she is down to get an alliance together, to get going here. So a little later, America is in the comics bedroom with Felicia, Suri, and Izzy, and I cannot believe the way that this conversation was conducted. Felicia says to America, listen, we want to bring you and Corey in on like an alliance, but it's under one condition. I'm just going to say this. People think that you're flaky because you've been playing both sides and you've kind of stayed wherever it's convenient for you. What? How many alliances are Felicia, Izzy, and Suri in? Because I'm pretty sure they're aligned with everyone in the house now that they're getting with America too. Like, what? And you're trying to call out America for being flaky and for having alliances all over the place? It was wild. But Felicia says, if we bring you in and we get wind that you're being flaky, you'll be the first one to effing go. Oh my God, that's how you start things off with your new ally? Like, it seems like a lot. And again, I think that HOH-itis has crept in. I think Felicia's got a case of it. I don't know if they're like pumping some disease, like HOH-itis disease into the HOH room, but like it's been running rampant this season. So America's like, okay, I know Corey was telling me you guys were hesitating about working with me because I hang out with Matt, Jag, and Blue, and Suri adds in, and now Cameron also. But America says, yeah, I get that, but it's frustrating because those guys don't even talk in a game with me. You know, we just hang out, and Suri says, well, they told us that they don't talk game with you because they don't trust you. And America's like, I don't get why they would even say that because, again, there's no game talk there. Like, why would they not trust me? They're not giving me anything to work with. So America is pushing. We just hang out. It's not anything game related. And America talks about how frustrating it is because she wants to play this game. She wants to play with strategic players. And she says, I really only talk serious game with Corey up to this point. So they let America know who's in the alliance. It is a group of 7. Suri, Izzy, Felicia, America, Corey, Jared, and Mimi. So America's like, yay, I'm so excited. She's in. She loves it. Okay. And then they say, you know, we're going to plan to get the whole group together later, which they don't end up doing because they felt like it's too risky. It's too hot right now. There's too many people around. So they didn't end up getting everybody together. But after this meeting with America, Suri, Izzy, and Felicia are agreeing this new 7 that they're putting together is their real group, which is why they're calling it For Real, not The Real. I don't know why, but those commercials, I just love them. But yeah, they're calling it For Real, which is kind of like annoying to say. So I hope that they change the name. It's too much. For Real. I don't want to have to say that a million times a day. But anyway, they have all those other alliances that they're juggling, and they agree 7 Deadly Sins, fake, Legend 25, fake, but they're going along with it now, right? Because just in case somebody from those alliances win, they want to make sure that they're protected. So, in other news, at midnight, the have-nots got to eat real food again. Yay! Okay, moving on. Later, Corey and America chat again. And this was a little spicy, not in a romance way, but in a game way. Corey fills in America on the almost vote flip. He's like, yeah, just so you know, before they brought you in for this alliance, they were going to flip the vote and keep Hisam, and Hisam was going to be in the group instead of you. Ugh. Corey wants America to know what's up. And America's like, well, I don't feel as good about it now, knowing that. Yikes. She's, you know, she knows now she's number 7 in that group. And Corey's like, yeah, well, I'm number 6. He knows he's not, right? He's like number 4. But still, he wants to make sure that America is the closest to him out of anyone else in that group, right? Yeah. All right. So anyway, today, let's talk about today. So everybody is getting ready for tonight's live show, and Felicia and Suri are super pissed that Cameron has not packed his bags yet. Right? He's just that confident that he doesn't need to pack yet. I believe last week too, he waited till like the last second to pack. And Felicia says, that's an arrogant bitch. I mean, I agree. Like, that's really shitty to not, like, pack your bags fully. Like, who do you think you are? So Felicia is like, big brother, you got to tell Cameron to pack his bags. Also, she wants to shock Cameron by now flipping the vote on him, so he's evicted. Oh my god! So Sari is also like, yes, let's do it. She's down to clown. Let's keep Heisem. So I can't believe this. Felicia is going around to the for real members, trying to flip this vote again. Oh my god. But of course, she gets to Corey, and Corey is like, no, stop that. We're not doing it. So he puts an end to it. Even Izzy was agreeing with him at this point. If you get rid of Heisem like this, I mean, if you get rid of Cameron like this, that's an emotional move. We can't be doing that because he's not packing his bags. Like, we can't. We need to get rid of Heisem, because if we keep Heisem, we're gonna be making so many more enemies for ourselves. We can't do it. So at this point, Heisem is still leaving tonight. It's looking like it's going to be by a vote of 11-0, unless somebody decides to do something crazy with like a hinky vote. But I think it'll just be 11-0. And then we've got the pressure cooker tonight for HOH. Oh my god, I can't wait! It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm excited to see what this scary versus twist is going to be on the competition. And I just feel like we're going into this.
Hi.
Hello!
I almost didn't make it.
Oh no. Hi, Bowie. I feel like we're going into this competition with like the perfect dynamic for it, right? Because everybody wants to win this one for the most part. People are going to be desperate to win. I could see this thing going for a really long time. I think it's going to be awesome.
You're right.
I think it's going to be good. Watch, it's going to be over in like 2 minutes.
I hope we're not sitting there at 11 o'clock tonight. Like,
well, that's over. No, I think it's going to go for a long time, so I'm excited. But yeah, I want to thank today's super chatters because you guys are all amazing. Dawn MH302, thank you so much. Mary Ellen L, thank you as always. Aunt Dog, thank you so 25. Aunt Dog 25. Thank you so much. Jefferson Tucker, thank you as always. Jefferson says, Mimi, please win HOH. Bowie, I need just 1 week of stability and sleep. Yeah, right. Like, we need a nice buffer week here where we can kind of just like chill, watch it happen, and not feel like we're dying every day.
I hope there's no technical difficulties like they've had in the past.
Like they've had in Canada with like the buzz one where they're holding the buzzer.
BOTT.
Yeah.
That laser
one. The laser one. Yeah. I remember that was wild. That was a fun competition to watch though. Yeah, it would be nice to get some sleep. I will say it's been exciting so far, but like we need a little bit of a break. We need an easy week. Thank you again. Jack D65, thank you so much. And Jack says, thank you again. You make BB so much more fun and easier to follow. Thank you. I'm glad you enjoy our work. William Dang, thank you so much. William says, excuse me. William says, nice updates and spoilers. Thank you. I'm sick of the nonsense, unnecessary flip-flopping. It's pretty wild, right? I mean, we can pretty much just schedule it at this point that Sari and Izzy are going to be like, well, but like, what if we did this
I think
every week?
Felicia's
getting in there too.
As much to blame.
Yes, Felicia is also getting on that bandwagon of the flip-flopping for sure.
I feel like Jared has two mommies, Felicia and Sari.
Yeah, I was a little bit surprised how much Jared was also on board with the flip this week. Jared last week was like, no, we're not doing it. But this week, Jared was like, and Corey had to be like, no, we're not doing this. William also asked, do you think they would really flip on Cameron so last minute, or they keep on Heisem?
I don't think they'll have the votes.
I don't think they're flipping at this point. I think the suitcase thing was like a really emotional decision, but they're not going to go through with that unless Cameron continues to not pack. I don't know. But
she's acting like a real mom.
Yeah. You better pack up your shit now. Stop waiting till the last minute.
I will beat your butt.
Yeah. So I don't think they're flipping at this point, but oh my God, you never know with this group. Dane Thomas, thank you so much. We really appreciate that. Let me just get you on this list so we can thank you tomorrow as well. Phil D, thank you so much. Phil says it's hard for me to get into the season as I'm not a fan of Survivor, and the Cirie thing gives me Paul vibes. Obviously not with the immunity, but OP with fam. Yeah, I mean, I love Cirie, and I'm really enjoying watching her play, as messy as her play has been. But I do agree. I think it's like super unfair that she's in there with her son. I mean, they just have such a huge advantage over everyone else. I will agree with that. I would feel a little bit weird if Cirie or Jared were to win the season.
Do you think, this is my super chat,
Okay. Oh,
for
thank you.
$0.
I get to eat dinner here tonight.
Yeah. Do you think that when the house finds out, and they will,
Okay.
that her and Jared are related, that they will turn on her and vote her out? Or will they say, like, oh, we were so stupid for not being able to figure it out. You can stay.
I think it'll be a mix of things. I think definitely people will be like, I can't believe I didn't pick that out. But also I think people will be like, no, we need to split that up. Like, I definitely think it would have a negative impact.
Okay.
I think so. I don't know about you.
I think it depends how far it gets along.
Yeah, it also depends who's left.
Right.
You know, it's interesting to think, like, how would Felicia react to something like this? Because, like, she is super tight with Cirie. Is she going to be pissed that Cirie kept this from her? I don't know.
In her case, I think she would not be angry at Cirie, but she would be like, well, Jared's got to go.
Which I'd be fine with.
Yeah.
So let's do that. Yeah, I don't know. It's interesting. Interesting to think about. William Dang, thank you so much again. William says Corey and Nicole saved Cirie by stop flip-flopping. Yeah. I mean, Mimi was kind of like into it last night too. But in the end, like, Corey, I feel like really put a stop to it. So anyway, thank you all so much for watching. We'll be back later tonight for our episode recap. And tomorrow we'll be talking about this pressure cooker, right?
We hope.
Yeah. So leave your predictions in the comments who you think is going to win this pressure cooker. And we'll see y'all later. So until then, much love. Bye, everybody. Thanks again. Bye.